I would like to talk about my Christian awakening. And the story begins when I was around 16 or 17 years old. I was a very lost individual. Um, I didn't have a community of my own. Um, and I oftentimes reduced myself to worldly things. I didn't know how to properly assess myself as a person. Um, and what ambitions to have, what future goals to have. I didn't really have a clear set mind of who I am and where I should go next. What are things that are greater beyond the self? Um, and because of that, it was very much like turmoil for me. I felt like I didn't have that greater purpose, um, that sense of worthiness. And many times I felt worthless. I felt very inadequate and unwanted. I would oftentimes be the overachiever in an academic sense. I was one of the top in my class. I had a 3.96 GPA or so. I don't remember exactly the number, but I would do so much just to get like the grades, right? The grades, the numbers, and that what was giving me um, satisfaction, and until that eventually, it wears off, right? Because you can't really feel all that well by judging yourself by a number, right? Or judging yourself with school or external things, and not really feeding your soul and what really matters in your life. So I was very much sad. I felt so sad and unheard and unseen. I I just didn't have any direction. I was so very much lost. And in those nights where it was extremely difficult, um, I would cry, as a lot of people do. And what helped me sleep at night was just imagining, just like holding somebody. I'm a very like physically affectionate person with friends and family, so at night that's what kind of calmed me down, just like thinking I'm holding someone's arm or something, and and going to sleep that way. But you start to think about that for a couple months, a couple years. I don't know. It doesn't work as well. Like you just keep imagining. But I don't know. During that time, I would have so many nightmares. Every time I was sleeping, it was a nightmare, and that happened for like 6 or 7 years. Um, and it would be terrible because the nightmares would be very much apocalyptic. It would be very much violent. Um, Things that are just completely out of your control. You're getting harmed. Somebody's getting harmed, or it's like very much world ending. Okay, sorry about that. I got a little bit too sentimental over there. But the kind of nightmares that I would have, that were apocalyptic. Uh, One would be like just a toxic gas going through the city and creeping up, like I think how mustard gas is, if it's low hanging gas, but still coming through, right when it's coming through, and just poisoning everything, killing everything off and coming towards you, and you're stuck in place, right? You're seeing it all happen, you're stuck in place. The city is empty. Another one was being strangled, or you doing the strangling, or you um, something extremely violent, physically violent, and you feeling it, not being able to save yourself, or you causing it, fighting somebody. Um, Another one was like a criminal, an unknown kind of criminal, just harming your family member with a weapon, just a blunt weapon like that in the middle of the night, and you're just seeing outside and them in the door frame of that happening, with only the street light on. Another one was just someone carrying a bloody child in their arms, maybe like around 12 years old, just all covered in blood. And you see that in a dimly lit room with light cascading down. Another one was being like just covered in a barrel of just cement, and that suffocating you, just anything that you can't escape from, something that is so vile and violent in its nature. Either the world just going into smithereens, or you struggling. That was just the main theme throughout all this. You're constantly struggling for life, to live, to survive, and seeing your close loved ones or the world just shattering before you. I want to clarify that during this time, I didn't really have a sense of religiosity. I'm from a Christian household, but I was not educated thoroughly in Christianity. I didn't understand what it means to be a Christian. I didn't understand a lot of the values or lessons, even though our behavior reflected off of that. I didn't have a clear understanding much at all. I didn't read the Bible or anything like that. So why that has a deeper connection is that one night I started to think in those times that I really didn't have much self-confidence, or I didn't feel worth. And the one thing that helped me, I started to think, I thought to myself, God loved us enough to create us. God loved me enough to create me. And in that thought alone, I was comforted. It was kind of like the light switch in my head. God loved me enough to create me in this world, and that was enough. That is enough. So that was the thing that helped me sleep at night. It brought some peace of mind at night. And one night I dreamed that I was laying down in a golden field, and there was golden light all around. And I felt what I believe to be is Jesus holding my head just like this, like holding my head while I'm laying on the ground. And that was it. I didn't see his face, but I knew it was him. And it was just that simply was the dream. He was just calmly, just, you feel his hand holding my head. And then that's how I wake up afterwards, and with that scenery in mind, that calm scenery. Afterwards, I wouldn't have any nightmares. I didn't have any at all. All of those 6 or 7 years or so of every time I dream it was a nightmare, all of that just disappeared. It was gone. And as I started reading the Bible and going to church, I soon realized how important it is to actively seek God, to actively seek Jesus throughout your life that you have here on earth. So here's a couple of quotes from the Bible, from Jesus, that really enlightened this thought for me. If we read from Matthew chapter 15, from verses 22 to 29, about the Canaanite woman's faith. Just then, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and started shouting, "Have mercy on me, Lord, Son of David. My daughter is tormented by a demon." But he did not answer her at all. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, "Send her away, for she keeps shouting after us." He answered, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." But she came and knelt before him, saying, "Lord, help me." He answered, "It is not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs." She said, "Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." Then Jesus answered her, "Woman, great is your faith. Let it be done for you as you wish." And her daughter was healed instantly. We could also take another quote from, let's see, again on Matthew, on chapter 7, verse 7. "Ask and it will be given you. Search and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and for everyone who knocks the door will be opened." Is there anyone among you who, if your child asks for bread, will give a stone? Or if the child asks for a fish, will give a snake? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good things to those who ask him? Another verse also found in Matthew as well as Luke. In Luke chapter 15, verses 3 to 7. So he told them this parable: "Which of you, having 100 sheep and losing one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders and rejoices. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying to them, 'Rejoice with me, for I have found my lost sheep.' Just so, I tell you, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who need no repentance." So, with this story, I believe I was lost and I am now found. Hopefully, in the future, more people will be found themselves and return to Christ. Thank you for watching.